Kia ora whenua. Te tanga over here. I haven't made one of these videos for a while, going on nearly a week now, because of recent developments in the world that I really don't want to dwell on. And it's also flooded in Brisbane, so that's my excuse. Now let's continue on trying to make this unicorn, as I find out exactly where the hell I am up to. Which should be exciting. And by exciting, I mean intensely frustrating. Because that's how this rolls. Okie dokie, looks like that's the step we're up to. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about today, so I really don't want to talk about the thing that is currently extremely topical. I mean, it's not so much people's stupid hot takes that I don't really like. It's how can I say this without sounding like a dick? Oh fuck, it might as well just sound like a dick, I guess. It's the mind-numbing ignorance that really starts to beat a buff to your door. But anyway, I'm building a unicorn. For those that need a recap, this is where we're up to with the head. I've actually ordered another unicorn made by the same company, LOL. And they've also got a completely unlicensed Sailor Moon cat. I don't know the real name of the cat, so sorry Sailor Moon fans for not being able to tell you the exact name, but it's the Sailor Moon's black cat, as an unauthorized, unlicensed thing. I've got that coming in. That should arrive sometime this week, so when I finally get finished making this, I'll turn around and immediately make another one that is a small black anime cat, because you know what, you might as well just keep hurting yourself, you know? This comes a point where you're like, you know what, in for a penny, in for a pound. Just because I'm not bleeding now doesn't mean I can't be bleeding later. And first blocks, so first and second blocks I put in, I've made a mistake. Always good. Start as you mean to go on. I'm making endless mistakes. I'm so confused as to where this additional... I missed a step. I feel like I'm missing a step. 10, 11, 12. Right. Then step 13, okay. Well, maybe I haven't missed a step and it just looks like I've missed a step. Oh well. So, yeah, I also haven't slept particularly well. I've had about 7 hours sleep in the last 72, which is less than your recommended daily allowance of pretending to be dead. This is just a thing. That crappy line go, this too shall pass. Yeah, like a kidney stone, everything will pass. Thank you for your deeply profound wisdom, white girl tattoo. There's the problem, I didn't even put the right fucking block. Oh, man. I know I should not be angry and disappointed with myself, but I'm just going to sit here and be angry and disappointed with myself because I didn't even use the right block. God damn. Well, we definitely had stupid for breakfast. Which, you know, part of this complete breakfast. Contains 5 vitamins and stupid. Yeah, look, and I know some people are going to be upset about the use of the term stupid, saying it's an ableist medical term. Yeah, okay, cool. So is fucking hysteria. I'm just going to put that out there. Hysteria technically is a medical term. It's a shitty one. A really shitty one. But technically, strictly speaking, in the strictest sense of strictest senses, hysteria refers to a woman's womb moving around her body and upsetting her humours. I don't think they actually used the term humours at this point, but it was felt that a woman's uterus was capable of moving around her body. Now, if you know anything about science, if you know anything, well, let's just go out here and batshit insane. If you know anything, you know that's not true. That's not actually possible. Uteruses don't get up and go wandering around women's bodies causing all sorts of problems. That's just a bunch of dumbass dudes thinking they know which end is up. And that's why hysteria is an offensive term, because it was used as a catch-all. All a woman had to do was... actually, this is one of my favourite pieces of misogyny, because it still lives on today. This idea that just busting a nut will cure your problems. Depressed, go have sex. Depression will be magically cured by having the sex. I don't know if you've ever actually been depressed. But if you've ever been depressed, yeah, I've definitely missed stages here. Wait, there should be a whole nother... Wait, what? Okay, I just clearly have failed to build an entire bank section. It's okay in America. So, that's what I'm looking at. Well, if this piece of shit isn't going to give me a headache. Sorry about being such a sweary bear. I probably shouldn't be, but exhaustion, frustration. Exhaustion, frustration. And just keep, tickling it all over together. Eventually, one will conquer the other. And then we will drag them into an eternal war, make them choke on their own dead. Alright, so I want that one. Did I mention how much fun it is having a predominantly white thing being built on predominantly white pieces on a white ball, on a white table? It makes this extremely easy. Combine this with, like I said, this series is actually called A Tired Chef Builds, which today is surprisingly appropriate because I am very tired. Okie dokie. Anyway, yes, Sailor Moon's cat is going to be built. Like I said, it's adorable. I kind of don't want people to think that I'm supporting the commodification of spare time. That's not really a thing that I'm on or enjoy or like the idea of. So... Ooh, okay, so this should go like this. Alright. See, the hardest part is wrapping your head around you're trying to build these little isometrical layers. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's probably good for my mental health and my mental acuity to be doing something like this, but it sure as hell isn't going to hurt. I mean, if it did hurt, I'd probably just do it more, to be brutally honest. Self-flagellation is not funny. Okay, it's not funny. So I guess that fucker goes there? No? Yes? Yeah, I think that has to... I really do not know how that's meant to go, because that doesn't feel like it's going to fit. And we've just been invaded by Maui. Let's say hi Maui, but he is antisocial, aren't we all? Okay, so with that there. Then I need a 3-piece. Hey, bud. Thank you for the butt to the face. I definitely needed that. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people, one of the reasons why I'm exhausted by the current exciting chitter chatter running around, it's not just people's lack of nuance. So fuck it, I'm just going to name it war. The Ukrainian war thing is driving me up the fucking wall. I was kind of hoping not to talk about it, but you know what, fuck it, we're going to have to. Elephants in the room and all that kind of bullshit. Like, I know a lot of people aren't going to understand this, which is good. Some things, I don't want to say are meant to be beyond the ken of man, but maybe not everything needs to be understood 100%, if you get what I'm saying. I'm actually going to connect these using that bit. It's not in the instructions, it actually goes against the instructions, but it also appears to make sense, and we'll bind these two together. Like, yes, the Russian state is the aggressor. They've invaded another country and they've spent the better part of 20 years, well, pretty much since Putin came to power, has been trying to rebuild the USSR. Everyone's got to have a hobby, right? Problem is, a lot of people in the West have forgotten a couple of very important things about Russia. And one of them is the fact that it has a conscript army. Because we don't have conscript armies in the West. They're not a thing people actually stop and think about the moral implications of a conscript army. And what it means is, for the average Russian of the appropriate gender and age, they don't actually have a choice whether or not they're going to serve in the army. It's not as simple as everyone in the Russian military agrees with invading Russia, invading the Ukraine, and going in there and killing babies, etc. Which, for the record, is a really fucked up thing to call soldiers. I'm just going to point it out there. And lost in the subtle cloud of nuance is the fact that they will go to jail if they refuse to show up, if they refuse to report for their mandatory military service. So it's real easy in the cheap suits to talk about strength of belief. It is really easy in a country that is never going to demand your actual death to talk about the nobleness of protests. And it is real easy to talk about how, as we say, everyone's a badass till their hair's full of burning metal. Then all of a sudden everyone has a fucking attack of the fear. Here's the whole thing. The problem is there is no clear idea of what's going on the ground. I wouldn't trust jack and or shit that's coming out of Russia or the Ukraine as to what is truly happening, because both of them have reasons to lie. The Ukraine it can't beat Russia. It can't. The Russian military is capable of being... My numbers are old. These are numbers from the late 90s, but the Russian military is capable of having recalling reserves, which is something called militaries doing times in war. If it recalls its reserves, which is recalls the recently demobbed, which is soldiers that have been out of the military for less than 10 years, on top of its reserves, without increasing the conscription rate, without broadening the conscription base. You're looking at a military that has around 6 million men and equipment for 6 million men. Just there, ready to go. You know, like, hey, how you doing? There we go. See, I missed a bit. I don't want to sound off like an expert on military matters. I doubt even when I kept track of this shit in real time, I would have only ever knew enough to be considered an expert. And I sure as shit don't now. I don't keep track of it. So, I am not an expert. This is not an expert opinion. Please do not mistake what I'm saying as an expert opinion. It is the opinion of one man who is an arsehole. But here's the kicker with this whole... Have I got that around the right way? Must have that right way. So... this goes there, but there's a gap. And there's not meant to be a gap, and I don't know why there is a gap. I think I know how to correct its gap, though. Anyway, yeah, so the Ukraine has denied every male between the ages of 18 and 60 to leave. Possibly because they're going to force them to serve in the military. That right there is what we call a tactic of desperation. Lots of things are tactics of desperations. They're fun. It literally just refers to a tactic that... It's pretty self-evident what it refers to, bro. A tactic of desperation is a tactic you do because... well, you don't really have a say in the matter. You're not doing it for fun. It is a thing that you are forced to do by the contingencies of war. And the only reason the Ukraine would do that, because let's be honest, 60-year-olds make really shit soldiers, is because they don't have a choice. They know they are fucked. As the joke goes, they're fucked. Yeah, they're probably fucked. You don't wake up one day and go, we are going to ask 60-year-old men to go and fight and die next to 18-year-olds. That shit seems really cool in the movies, and it sounds really sexy when you think of an 80-year-old man enlisting to fight a war. I mean, yeah, that sounds sexy. But it's desperation. It's not... You're not doing that because you have a choice. And combine that with the high-grade racism that's coming out about, we never expected war in a civilized part of the world. Go fuck yourselves. Europe's single export to the rest of the world is war, pain, and suffering. Go learn about the histories of the African empires that existed in the Middle Ages. Do yourself a favour. Go read some books on what was built at Timbuktu. Go... I don't know what... No one who follows me is one of these assholes that's turning around going, it's really good that the Ruskies are... You guys aren't like that, clearly. But the only real argument against people who sit there and go, we never thought this war was going to come to Europe, is like, why? Is war just something you guys export? Like, like you're saying the quiet part out loud. And, good on you boys for finally saying it. We never thought our sins would come home. But here's the whole thing. Like, they do. And a lot of people are going to die. A lot of scared Russian kids are going to die. And all it's going to do is increase the radicalization of said group and the Ukrainians. Because what happens is certain people will survive and succeed. And here's the fun thing your movies wouldn't have told you. It's not the people the only people that survived war unscathed were people who were broken or fucked up before they ever got near the front. So, as a whole bunch of really talented poets wrote about the First World War and the Second World War and every war since then, since as much as I hate the trope of war never changes, people's reactions to the horrors of war don't change. Well, look, we could argue about the Spartans. I personally am of the opinion that Spartan poetry was propaganda. Poetry was meant to be performed to people. And I think, in particular, Spartan poetry was an attempt to make themselves look like bigger badasses than they really were. Because I think that being a Spartan, a Spartiate, would have been a terrifying experience. And I know that's going to get me cancelled as a cuck historical loser because we know they enjoyed it because they wrote all this poetry about how great it was. I'm like, yeah, so what? I don't think anyone in history has truly enjoyed war. Apart from people who are broken. People who like violence. Don't get me wrong, like I for some people, life in the military represented a time in which I don't want to say everything was clear and simple because it wasn't. But for a lot of people, it was maybe the first time they ever heard someone say that they did a good job, or that someone was proud of them, or that they were not some sort of psychopathic fucking monster that needs to be locked in a box and poked with sticks. And for some people, that's the really fucked up thing about the military. Like, that's the nightmare-inducing bit that keeps you awake at night. Was the evil and violent, disgusting stuff that you did was praised. Like, not even going on that, killing's the worst thing you can do. You do it at home, they call you a fucking murderer. You do it out here, they give you a fucking medal. Not even going for that kind of fucking low-rent, unexamined bullshit. Because it kind of is low-rent, unexamined bullshit. But a lot of people don't live in a world that rewards them for their best efforts. I mean, yeah, look, a lot of people do get crushed and ground up and abused by the military system. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was perfect and it was wonderful and rah, let's go military. No, fuck, I hate the military. They can go to hell. I hate it with the passion of the spurned lover. Which is just an ugly and fucked up thing to have to say. But, welcome to my world. So, as much as I didn't want to talk about this, clearly I'm going to talk about it because it's on my mind and I haven't had any sleep. So, that means you fuckers just get unfiltered insanity. No, it's not. It's not unfiltered, that's not really insanity. The point I'm trying to make is that the reality of the situation in Russia is exactly the same as it was in Afghanistan and Iraq. which means a bunch of kids who are just trying to go to school, who are just trying to live their lives, and whose lives would be destroyed by a criminal charge. Like, this is the other thing with conscript militaries. They refuse to serve. Okay. Before this happened, you just did your time, you go home. It's fine. Now, I know a lot of people are going to sit there and start talking about moral cowardice and shit like that, and abdication of civilian responsibility, and that's cool. Congrats. I'm glad you learned some big words. That's cool. But I gotta ask, would your life be fucked up by a criminal charge that carries approximately 5 years in jail? Like, let's just leave aside the quality of Russian jails, which are famous for their hospitality and perfectness. Would your life be fucking ruined by that charge? Bearing in mind that the Russian state, that's not something that's ever going to go away. You will be asked in a society in which conscript military exists. What did you do in the army? Ask Finns. Ask any Western people who have the military. Ask them what happens socially to people who refuse to fight. Even if they manage to build their life after being like, you're 23 years old, you have a serious criminal charge, and it's serious enough that you will just be called a coward for the rest of your fucking life, because people will forget why you refused to go and fight. They'll just remember you didn't fight, and that my dad did, or my uncle did, and my dad died so that you could fucking sit in a cell, you piece of shit. Like, one of the things I studied when I went to university, when I was desperately trying to rebuild my life after everything went to shit, was I stupidly studied call it warfare, but it was more society's reactions to war, and what societies have done to perpetuate myths of... So I was doing a psych arts degree, forensic psychology, and arts degree on the science. I was 2 degrees, because why hate yourself and only do 1 degree when you can truly fucking despise yourself and do 2. I ultimately didn't get them because I didn't know what I wanted. I still don't know what I want. Well, I do. So I should not have to deal with this shit anymore. But that's not an option that you can easily find. So, anyway. And there was one thing that stuck me. It was the White Feather campaign. Which is going to have a lot of people going, what the fuck is the White Feather campaign? And I'm like, oh, you're in for a treat, son. You are going to love learning about the White Feather campaign. The White Feather campaign is a name for a series of pro-war pushes. Depending on how you want to count it, in England there was approximately 3 major White Feather campaigns. They all kind of fizz out around 1916 when the Boys Keep Coming Home all fucked up. For some reason that really put a dampener on the White Feather campaign, which was women would walk up to a guy in the street, a young guy, and smile. Think about this, you don't know this when you're looking at you. There's one guy said, you didn't know, but maybe she knew of you, and she'd come up smiling and looking at you, and you thought, well, maybe you're in with a bit of a chance. And then she would scowl and hand you a white feather, and then stalk off. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, so the bitch ghosted the dude, who cares? It's like, no. White feather's a sign of cowardice. So this woman would hit you up and smile, and you thought maybe you stood a chance, you can have a bit of a chat, maybe it turns out you do know her, maybe she wants to go on a date. Maybe she's really into you. So she builds up, and this was done fucking deliberately because I cannot express the vile, cartoonesque evil of the White Feather campaign. Like, we can sit here and talk about it, and it's almost unfucking believable how evil it was. And it was a deliberate campaign, and that's my favourite part of the whole thing, is the cold, dead, deliberate nature of it. Because people woke up. I don't want to say they woke up early to do it, but they definitely woke up to do it. And yeah, so then the guy would then take himself down to the recruitment centre and put it on because he had just been hit, just been hit in his manhood, effectively called a coward. And that worked. That consistently worked, just charging a random dude with cowardice. And it was organised by women's auxiliaries and things like this. This was a deliberate and consensus act, and kind of the terrifying thing is Australia never had conscription, but we had approximately 150,000 soldiers go in the First World War, which is pretty good considering our population was under 1.5 million, depending on which census you want to believe, considering they weren't particularly accurate back then. The highest number I've read for the Australian population pre-World War One is like 1.8 million, but that's kind of controversial for reasons that don't really matter. And the White Feather campaign was extremely popular in Australia because we defeated, conscription was defeated 3 times. It was voted down. We never actually forced people to go and fight for God, King and Empire because it was so fucking far away. Which I think is a very, very interesting insight into the Australian attitude, considering that we had no shortage of soldiers. We actually had a phenomenon called the Line 39ers in World War II, which was the oldest you could be to voluntarily enlist in the Australian Army during the Second World War was, you guessed it, 39. So men that had served in the Great War signed up to fight in the replay because Australia was at risk of being invaded, and so that meant a lot of men decided that if anyone's going to fight and die for them, it's going to be them. They're not going to ask someone else to go off and burn their youth and their freedom for them. Which, depending on how you feel about... No, that was right. Depending on how you feel about masculine displays of self-sacrifice, is how you feel about that one. Anyway, the White Feather campaign was consistently done and is successful. And when you read letters back and things like less than scholarly, I will admit, books such as Voices of the Forgotten War, Forgotten Voices of the Great War, which is a really great curated version of this, but you can actually just get, if you've got the money, the time and the inclination, you can get uncurated access to the letters and diaries of soldiers. I don't recommend reading it if you like sleeping at night. If, however, you don't like, if you think sleeping's kind of fucking overrated, and you don't need to do none of that shit, then go for it. You will most definitely be reading something. Whether or not you want to, it's an entirely different matter. And so back to these poor Russian conscript boys. They're facing tremendous social pressure from the more conservative parts of society. Now, I know a lot of people want to pretend that the conservative parts of society don't exist and have zero influence on everything. Especially if you're a leftist. No conservative could make me do anything. Bullshit. Bullshit. just I think it's adorable that you want to lie to yourself. Just don't lie to me. Because I ain't going to believe you. And so these guys are not just staring down, the social condescension of it. Even if they don't, and this is the other thing, when you live in a society, the goals of the society become yours because you're a member of society. You buy in hard. So, like, I get that everyone online is so much cooler than a bunch of Russian conscripts and 100% would tell Putin where to stick it up his ass. But the reality is you would 100% enlist. You would just go along. Even if you're just going along to get along, there is tremendous pressure acting on these kids to just go along. Just go and do your time, keep your head down, play it safe. And the problem is for the Ukrainians, even if we accept that the average Ukrainian soldier is John Rambo's elder brother and is capable of feats of endurance and war fighting that would make a Navy SEAL puke, etc., and is the greatest hero that has ever graced God's green earth. He's fighting a scared 18-year-old kid that just wants to go home. And he knows that. And war is a political act. This is the shit that's actually going to make you really sad. So, the only way the Ukrainians can win is by killing a whole bunch of Russian kids. That is the be-all and end-all. That is the ultimate takeaway. They're going to murder a bunch of scared Russian kids. Because it's going to be much easier than taking on the regs. The regular units, staffed with volunteers that know how to fight, know how to kick ass. The dedicated professionals of the Soviet army, the Spetsnaz, etc. The elite and terrifying Soviet soldiers that actually do make you wet your pants and cry for your mother. The Ukrainians aren't going to want to touch those guys with a fucking barge pole. They're not going to want to get within 100 feet of them. Because they'll fight hard and they won't give up and they won't give you nice cheap victories and they won't surrender en masse if they surrender at all. Because once again we're now talking about professional Soviet soldiers. And so what's going to happen is the Ukrainians are going to deliberately attack the soft targets. That's what you do. They're basically going to have to fight in certain warfare. In case you can't tell, that means there are going to be thousands and thousands of brave Ukrainians taking prisoners that consist of scared 18, 19-year-old kids whose parents were too poor or too proud to buy them out of being drafted, who didn't have the right family connections to get put in a safe unit in a safe military district. Because this is the other thing. Lots of the families of the professional soldiers, like the proud and noble and heroic families, are going to keep their sons as far away from this as fucking possible. So I haven't slept particularly well since this has happened because, like I said, the people that are going to be dying and doing a lot of the dying are people that have no business being in war. Not that anyone has business being in war. But the other thing is, war is a business. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, I'm just trying to find some small pieces. I'm clearly struggling to see through the tears. And this is the whole thing. Even if you enjoyed going to the army, even if you enjoyed war because you're a misbegotten, broken son of a bitch with no redeeming features such as, I don't know, me. you've got to acknowledge that the people that get hurt are not the people that, I don't want to say deserve to get hurt. Like, I'm going to pass moral judgment on you all. You all deserve to get hurt. Fuck you in the ass. No, I don't. It kind of sounds like that's what I'm selling. I mean, yeah. I really do appear to be missing 2 pieces. Well, I wonder what I've got in my magical box of spare parts. I may actually have the parts that I need. Almost certainly don't, but I can distract myself by reading through here and pretending to be finding stuff. Yeah, okay. That was clearly... I was clearly not going to just have the right parts sitting around, because this is the real world and this is not pre-recorded and this is not even a very good video. Okay, I'll just soldier on without it. Stop trying to dwell, because I kind of need this to distract myself. Anyway, where are we? So, yeah, we got that stripped done, can't fight those pieces. So now we need to put a triangle in there. Anyway, and this is one of the things that gets left off, the nuance of discussions around and about war. Well, I shouldn't say it gets left off, because that makes it feel accidental, whereas to me it feels extremely deliberate. I remember one of the things that was levelled against soldiers, former soldiers around 2007. When soldiers were saying, well, maybe it was not such a great fucking idea. And other such highly controversial hot takes. This cannot be stressed enough that I accept that, war is bad, says a soldier, is an insanely hot take. And I understand why people just don't want to listen to it. What the fuck would a soldier know? But this is why we can't find pieces. I have a nasty feeling if I go sliding through the literature, I will find lost pieces. Which is probably why I'm not going to go doing it. Anyway, depressing as fuck is what this video has become. Anyway, so yeah, I think I've mentioned about 19 times, because I'm just going to keep mentioning it 19 times. I've actually got other videos. I was kind of, as fun as doing this is for me, I don't want to sound like a complete flake, but I got better shit to do with my life than build Lego. It's fun, and the reasons why I'm doing it are the reasons why I'm doing it. I don't want to sit here and to pretend to be some sort of noble son of a bitch. I ain't no noble son of a bitch. Anyone that mistakes me for a noble son of a bitch, that's on you. It really does feel like I'm missing a substantial amount of pieces. Either that, or I've put them in the wrong place and I will never know. We'll just have to keep ploughing through and see what we can do. Let's just stuff 2 of these white buggies in there. That makes up a 6, which is what I need. Let's just hope that I don't run out of them, which I probably will. Right. So... yeah. Dump it off to the side. Right. Okay, well, but they don't fit. Let's go back. Let's see. Okay, I think I see a mistake that I've made. Okay, let's just try putting this together like this at the moment and see if we can figure out exactly how and where we fucked up. The why of why we fucked up is no longer relevant. Okay, so that clearly is meant to go there. Right. We have reached agreement. Which means that can go there. This can get pulled down snug to there, which is a thing. Right. So does that mean they're meant to be 4s? It's not meant to be a 4, not an 8. Okay. Fuck it, whatever. Can't count, don't want to. Right. Which means that this big ugly fucker needs to go there, right. That would be a fair assumption. And this fucker needs to go there. Alright, once again, appears to be a fair fucking assumption. So now we put this goes there. And we still don't have the piece that I need, okay. I thought I made a mistake, but it turns out I was wrong. I really do appear to be short of pace. No, like I said, we'll just happily carry on and hope I haven't fucked up too badly. Unfortunately, he already has. Yeah, okay, I appear to have made a unforced, unrecoverable error. Apparently, no, wait. This really does feel, the way the steps are done, it really does feel like I'm missing a fucking step between 15 and 14. I mean, I could be. I'm not actually that smart. Wait, hang on. Yeah. Right, now I see what I've done wrong. Do not trust this man, he's a professional idiot. That's a joke. I don't get paid to be stupid. It's more of a hobby. Okay, I can see where I've made a mistake. The mistake is I've had 7 hours sleep in the last 72 hours. That was not a very good decision. I would like to go back in time and rectify that if I could. If someone wants to build a time machine and fly back and somehow help me get some more sleep, I would really fucking appreciate that. I got no idea how to do this for the record. You're asking for something that's kind of beyond my skill set. I'm merely presenting you with the problems to fix, not actually giving you solutions. Jesus. Fucking hell, can't even build Lego. But please, listen to my rambles about geopolitics. Clearly this is a good idea. Okay. Right. Now, back to our regularly scheduled stupid. Chocolate flavoured stupid. Okay, there we go. Yep, sweet. You know that problem you get when you're tired and you just keep making the same fucking mistake over and over again because you are so tired you cannot understand how your brain has made a mistake? Hi, that was me! Right, so it wants me to put one of these. Right. Looks like just the one. Maybe two? No. Huzzah. Okay, so it wants a double. See, I'm not complaining. I don't want to make it seem like I'm being a little bitch about this. I am going to be a little bitch about this though. So many of the steps in these kits, as you can see, like it's, if they can come up at all, like you've got multiple layers being done as single instructional steps. So as you attempt to build your beautiful unicorn, it's really just doing your head in, which is cool. Once again, I need the challenge. I need to force myself out of my comfort zone and do stuff that challenges me, because right now I feel like I'm quietly going insane. See, I think I mentioned the sad truth that a lot of my personal social interactions with people are now done through social media, and that's kind of because I am so terrible at maintaining, well, just a terrible human being. I'm a hard person, I know, to deal with, to be around. I understand and accept this. I also don't know any other way to be. And that is one of the reasons why I have so consistently fucked up my life. Because, well, hey Billy, I'm a fuck up. You're a fuck up, I'm a fuck up too. We must be related. Are you from the Cleveland fuck ups? Really bad baseball team from the late 19th century, for the record, with the Cleveland fuck-ups. I mean, like, they tried really hard, but let's be honest, they're a bunch of fuck-ups. American sports humour. That almost certainly doesn't land. Right, so we put that now to one side, and now we boldly build a completely fucking different build. Okay, so where's that big yellow sumbitch? Okay, so it's one of these. Nope, it's not that one. It's this one. I actually don't know if I'm meant to be using this clear piece. However, this clear piece is the only piece that I have. So we are just going to fucking get in there and get her done. Using all clear pieces for this? Oh man. Don't know. Doesn't look like I'll need it later. He hoped. Naively. So we'll just carry on and pretend I know what I'm doing. But I Aha! Another wonderful mistake. Did I mention how fiddly this is when you've got fucking Mongo hands? And I just wish there was a good way to show you how small these pieces are. They're about half the size of normal Lego, which in my hand size is already making them, like half-size Lego is fiddly as fuck already for me. And this stuff's half the size, which just makes everything perfect. Why make your life easier? Quite frankly, you don't deserve it. You deserve your life to be a constant uphill struggle. Ask me how I know. Many people have told me. That is how I know. Anyway, we are building a rainbow unicorn tail, which is kind of pretty. I think that's cool because the world needs more pretty things. There's that, and then this one gets. So that goes there. Oh. Feel the jankiness. I know this is going to be strong as hell when I finally get it together. But right now, this does not feel stable. Unstable table. And then, what are we doing? We on that way? Okay. Ta-da. And now we go. Needless to say, this is an excellent kit to build and display if you have, I don't know, maybe homophobic in-laws or housemates, because it's Lego. It's a construction kit. That makes it manly. Wait, why has it got all these pink bits? Ah. Speaking of, I've always found that was kind of hilarious. Big, strong, tough He-Man, scared of pink things. I'm like, man, aren't some of your favorite things pink? I'm like, I don't know. Sit there and tell me you're a ladies' man, but you're scared of pink. Well, what color do you think labia are? Oh, dude. Like, sorry you had to find out this way, but vaginas are pink. Were you not awake during... Have you never gone down on a woman? I mean, the answer is probably not. Cool, so, and then we just do that again, one more layer. Sweet. It's like that, Macho Man Hey Stupidity. And we'll go to... Okay, one layer too many. Actually, no, not one layer too many. God, consistently fucking myself up. I don't need your help to fuck up, bro. I can do it on my own. Okay, now we attach the tail. And cool. Yay, unicorn tail. Right. Oh god, more of the pieces that I'm pretty sure I'm missing. Awesome sauce. This would be the part where I'd go and grab the box and make sure I got all the parts out of it, except I threw the box away about 2 weeks ago. Clever. Okay, so regardless of what we can do is proudly carry on, my wayward son. So yeah, this is going to look slightly janky because yes, the unicorn is going to be missing what feels like substantial amounts of unicornness. Though, maybe they the same. Maybe. Just going to do some kit bashing here. I may regret this at a future time, but that is future me's problem. He's a dick anyway. He needs to learn to deal with fuck ups and mistakes, and I'm just going to make them for him. That actually looks really right. That makes me. That really does make me wonder about the whole. Well, let's just carry on. And as we get closer towards the end, we'll see just how badly I've fucked up my unicorn. Words that 24-year-old me never would have believed I would have said. God damn it, I fucked up my unicorn. Maybe that's the problem with the world. There aren't enough people out there complaining about fucking up their unicorns. People are just wandering around and fucking up their unicorns. So, I don't know, I kind of have a feeling that there's enough spare parts in this kit to make up for my fuck-ups and stupidity. I'm sure the people that designed this are very intelligent and dedicated individuals who, when they sell this to white people, or people who live in white people countries, are just like, fucking Guilo's gonna fuck this up, give him spare parts. He had enough parts to build 4 of those fucking things, and he still fucking ran out. I keep trying to tell you, Guilo, no good. And as it comes together, we get to see more of my previous mistakes. I think the important thing whenever you build anything is to just accept fundamentally that you are going to make mistakes. You are going to fuck up. You are not a perfect little angel of creation that is going to be able to build this shit first time, every time. You were going to fuck it up. You were going to fuck it up many times. And the best you can really hope for is to just kind of fucking have a bit of a chuckle about it and not let it play upon you. I actually know people that would lose their shit at fucking up building Lego, which, yeah, look, clearly you've got problems. I don't want to make light of anger management issues. At the end of the day, you control your reactions to things. So you can either take a deep breath, a bit of a giggle and drive on, or you can scream and carry on like a maniac because some shit happened in a game called War Thunder that doesn't affect anything, like, you know. Yeah, I'm thinking in particular of a certain individual I know who used to play War Thunder an awful lot, which is a game about cruising around in tanks and pretending to know what the fuck you're doing as opposed to driving around and having a giggle. I was firmly in the giggle brigade, for the record. It's a game. Have fun. You know, oh my god, a revolutionary idea. Games are meant to be fun. Oh, there's something I forgot to put on. Good thing I'm a fuck up. So, what are those? Basically, I forgot to do a few little connecting steps between the tail and here because tired, distracted, and I'm getting close enough that I kind of just want to soldier him through this. which, as we know, is excellent for not making mistakes. Just digging your heels in and going, I will fucking do this. No one has ever regretted anything they have done after digging in their fucking heels. And there's the piece that I want. Okay, right. And now we build ourselves a curvy butt, curvy butt, curvy butt. This unicorn has a badonkadonk. So yeah, the other unicorn that I've got coming is a very similar kit, but is covered in pink fluffy clouds, because, yeah. Oof, there we go. Okay, so, recap, we have the head. We're currently finishing off the badonkadonk. Oh damn, I just realized this is a freaking Pegasus, because we have little wings. Damn. What is a unicorn cross a Pegasus, apart from an abomination to both man and God? Please write down in the comments, and then I can retitle this video appropriately. God, I can't believe I made such an elementary mistake in not knowing my cryptozoology well enough to identify what a unicone, because that is definitely an ice cream cone on its head, cross a Pegasus. I mean, once again, there's a part of me that just wants to go, it is an abomination before the Lord. But that's just because I find declaring things abominations to be fairly funny. Okay, so now we build one little blue wing. That goes there, and then one. This is such a weird little bugger. Like, more power to this this Eldritch abomination. Because clearly a benevolent, loving God would turn its eyes from such a nightmare. And the fact it's still standing. Uh-oh. I think that is meant to be... That's okay, we can fix it. See? Now... For extra fancy, we're just going to add an extra layer to the tail. Ba-ba. See what I mean by the badonkadonk? Look at that badonkadonk. That is some junk in a unicorn trunk. Oh, well. Keep calling it a unicorn. It's not a goddamn unicorn. I like how that is the thing that my brain has latched on to self-soothe with. We will get cranky and angry because I keep misidentifying a Lego. A Lego construction kit that is half Pegasus, half Unicone, because that is a normal and healthy response to everything. The important thing is I know how to laugh at my brain's bizarre reactions to things, which I know some people don't think it's healthy, but shit, man, it's so much healthier than the coping mechanisms I was taught by society as I grew up, which usually involved hurting myself, later on being encouraged to take frustrations out on enemies. See, that's the wonderful thing about othering people. Oh god damn it, am I actually missing a piece? I may actually be missing a piece of unicorn. That could be because I stuffed up earlier. Don't think I have. What if this just goes straight? No, okay. So there's going to have to be a platform built to stuff a little unicorn head on. This is actually really frustrating. I'm missing one of the little bits for the wings. So the wings are going to be asymmetrical. Our unicorn is not going to be able to fly. This cannot stand, damn it. I do have a feeling though that building the black cat is going to be so much easier than this white fucker. Okay, I'm just going to drive on. I won't worry about it. Well, I will worry about it. It'll keep me up at night. But there is nothing I can do at the moment as we add our wings to our Pegasus. Try to pull out one piece, rip off half the unicorn. Anyway, I did actually have delusions that I would use my time building this to tell a story or a joke or something. They haven't come. And I'm not sure if many people understand this about storytelling, but you can't force the stories to come if they don't want to come. If you cannot find the story within you to tell, well, sorry guy, maybe you don't have a story to tell, at least not today. That's a little bit about how I feel at the moment. Lots of complaining, lots of making this bad video. But at the end of it, there will be a unicorn, so maybe that's enough. Maybe adding one more unicorn to the world is a noble enough, but it's not a noble enough goal. Well, let's be honest. It's building a unicorn. Okay, and not that you shouldn't build unicorns. If you have a strong desire to build unicorns, go out there and build goddamn unicorns. The world needs more unicorns. The world needs more happiness. I'm going to go for one of those annoying now more than ever, because I kind of feel that the now more than ever bit kind of can just be, oh my god, oh man, you think it's going to be bad, and then you see how you're going to put the feet together and you realise it's going to be worse than that. Okay. Well, on the bright side, at least we've got two colours of feet. And the legs aren't particularly long, so it's not like I'm going to be struggling with these bastards forever. Which, to be fair, is... well, maybe I am going to be struggling with these fuckers forever. Okay, that's as far as that destruction goes. Right. And then we want to do, what, two of these to the back. Okay, I'm not going to be struggling with them forever. That is better than a kick in the dick. Okay, one leg that I've just put pretty much out of shot, because I am a dedicated professional. Not at doing this, fucking hell. Yeah, I'm a professional at putting together the Legos. But I am a professional at something. I know I keep joking about this on Twitter about getting a boat and sailing away. Really, really would love to. As crazy as it sounds, and I realise that it is not a noble goal to just want to check out from society and not participate. not really healthy or normal behaviour. And then I realised that yes, what we're doing is talking from a contextualised peak capitalistic mindset in which your life is considered wasted unless you spend every single moment grinding as hard and as fast as possible for our corporate overlords. I realised that. Thank you, Johnny Silverhand. Actually, speaking of, I suppose I should finish that thought before I go running off into the fucking woods. This is where we find out that, you know what? Yeah, I've built them around the wrong way. But, can I fix this? Well, no, they mirror each other. Not sure I really care, to be brutally honest. Oh no, I put the Unicone legs together wrong. I've doomed humanity. The aliens that are watching us are going to come down and level us because I made the Unicone legs mirror image of each other. Anyway, yes, I would definitely love to check out from society, buy myself a boat, and then not just have to deal with this shit. Just because I get... If the world is really coming to a fucking end, why would you want to stay? Like, what is there left to fight for? Like honestly, it's a serious question. Well, what is there left to fight for? If everything is fucking ending as hard and as fast as it appears to be, I don't want to spend the last days of my life fighting. Like, I've spent so much of my life fighting for things that I was told to believe in, things that I did believe in, things that I wanted to believe in. And at the end of the day, what you got? Which is a very dangerous question to start asking yourself, you know. What, at the end of the day, have you achieved? Do you have? Because the answer will always be, sweet fuck all. And as much as I am pro asking dangerous questions of yourself, because the unexamined life is not worth living, there are also limitations to that. You know, if that's the case, if you truly believe that, how the hell are you going to spend it? How the hell do you fight the in you to keep going? And it's like, well, to be brutally honest, I'm fucking massively out of shape, and my health is declining. You know, I ain't blaming anyone for the way my body is at the moment but me. I happily smashed myself into pieces for things that I believed in. And it turns out... how the fuck do I put this together? Oh, you just plug them in. You don't even worry about it. You just fucking... Okay. That looks extremely fragile, my guys. Okay. So, just making some modifications to my Unicone that I think are going to make the legs stick a little bit better, because I believe I have the spare parts. I don't know, maybe the instructions are extremely clear and I'm just an idiot. It's distinctly possible. Okay. Right, that definitely works. So and now the subtle yet important differences of the different pieces become clear. Somebody made a mistake. Okay. And this is definitely around the wrong way, so I'll just build it in situ like the maniac that I am. And that, kids, is how we get a unicorn. And yes, I realize my unicorn legs are probably too close together. I think I didn't mention that I'm not an expert cryptozoologist. I know this is disappointing. This is going to devastate my subscriptions. Right. Okay. Unicorn back half done. So shouldn't have done this at all. Should not have assumed I knew what I was doing. So, right, yeah. And then we're going to go (100% do not have the right little bricky bricks). Well, how can we improvise this? So, I'll tell you what, let's just keep building it up, see what we've got, and then we'll figure it out from there. Sound like a plan? Sounds like something. Wait, what the fuck? He said in exasperation and confusion? God damn it, why couldn't you make the four legs be exactly the same? That would make everything be a little bit more pleasant to put together. Of course, it would mean that this would not be kicking my ass quite so much. I hope this is hilarious viewing. I really do. Because this is this feels like a big ass fucking struggle for me. So I hope it'll in English, motherfucker, I hope it's at least interesting. That there, right, yep. And then we take this fucker here. Okay, $64,000 question. That going to be even? Yes, we can convince that to be even. So. This is kicking my ass. I made too many mistakes to be able to easily just slap it together. But I also kind of just have to just slap it together because I've made so many goddamn mistakes putting it together. What if we put that there? Can we then condense this piece? Work with me here, children, work with me. Okay, so if we put that one there, can I then condense? Okay, then the legs are going to be too close together, so... It's feeling like a bridge to Terabithia problem. God damn it, I don't want to tear this thing apart to fix it because I know that's going to be nightmare fuel. Fuck. Well, kids, frustration is a natural part of life that you just need to get used to. I have all these spare parts. I should 100% be able to jury-rig, kit bash, and abuse some sort of Unicone leg mounting system. I mean, that looks stupid, but it works. It really does feel like if I was a smart person I would be able to figure this out, and the problem is I keep coming back to the point that the only thing to figure out is that I made a fucking horrible mistake and it's deep enough inside this thing that I don't really want to tear it apart to fix said fuck up, because said fuck up was a while ago, clearly a while ago. This would explain all the random I appear to be missing this piece that I had earlier. I do want to get this together for you guys. I do actually want there to be a conclusion to this video. So you're just going to be stuck with me. We will figure this out together as a team. One team, one dream. We will wake up screaming in the middle of the night like a real team. Hang on. Holy shit, the dumb son of a bitch. Have I done it? Well, if I tear this fucker apart, actually, let's just get this one in place first. So, okay. I figured out a way to mount the legs. Is it as elegant as the actual one in the plans? Nope. Do I care? No, I don't. Come on, there we go. Oh my god, and it's even the right height for the Unicone. Okay, so what have I done there? Now we'll just reverse engineer the nightmare that I have wrought. And this should be fun. So from there, what have we done? Well, it's not going to be an exact mirror. Oh, I can make it an exact mirror image. Screw it. I will. Hee. I'd say excuse my teeth, but it's my Lego and you guys aren't coming over to play with it, so we can just deal with me being gross. Okay. So, for this to work, we need to do this. So, I need pink. Okay. Hopefully that is the correct way. This is the way, to quote The Mandalorian, which I've only just started watching because I hate being pressured into watching things through social media. It's not a bad story. No, it's not. The internet's going to hunt me for this, but The Mandalorian isn't bad. It's kind of, it's cheap, it's lazy, it's American storytelling. Do find I'm only on season 1, haven't even finished season 1. I think I'm four episodes in. So, you know, and I realise there's 2 full seasons. Yeah, and yes, I know how it ends. Because one of the reasons why I didn't want to watch it when it first came out was the fact that literally every son of a bitch online was just like, oh my god, and it's like, cool, you know, you need spoiler warnings. I guess we don't do spoiler warnings anymore. No spoiler warnings. Okay, man, that's what I did in America. So, does this? Oh yeah, she fucking writes, and she just needs one more layer. So close yet so far. Bickety bam. Okay, now this should be the she writes moment. Oh yeah. It was an epic struggle to get there. I had to ignore the instructions. Kind of feel that her head's a little fucked back, but I'm going to leave it there because it feels like it's going to break if I try to move it forward. Can I do anything to fix up this wing so it doesn't look quite so janky? The answer is yes. So I'm just going to show you the jankiness of the wing. Missing that piece. And I'm pretty sure it's a missing, not I've stupidly used it in another part. So we'll just do that. That will mean that she is unfortunately a little bit lame, or he is a little bit lame, or they is a little bit lame in one wing. But you know what? Disabled rainbow unicorn. And we'll just read that up to the right angle. There we go, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry for being a stick in the mud. But if nothing else, this is what we've done. We have brought this into the world. A small amount of joy in an otherwise dreary and doom-soaked existence. Thanks for watching, and I will probably do the black cat next as soon as it arrives. Thanks, guys.